So, first half, Vikings, Lions. Fire everybody. Blow it up. Maybe not blow it up. I don't know. This 20-6. I've been watching the Vikings since 1987. I've seen some bad teams. I've seen some blowouts. I've seen some, games that maybe even on the scoreboard are worse than this. Although we're not done yet, game could still get in that territory. I don't think I've ever seen in 35 years of watching the Vikings. I don't think I've ever seen a team, given everything, given the stakes, because they're still playing for a playoff spot. They're guys, coaching for their careers, playing for their careers. You're playing a winless team. You had the scare a couple months ago at home where you almost lost to this team. Everything factoring in. And so you take all that together, and that was probably the most revolting, disgusting, infuriating, maddening half of Vikings football that I've ever seen. It's as if they are all just trying to lose and end their careers, specifically the coaches. I mean, this thing's gotten out of hand big time on defense, but that started with the offense not trying. Clint Kubiak is the worst coordinator in the history of the Minnesota Vikings. He's the worst. I mean, maybe someone back in the 60s was worse. I don't know. I wasn't around then. But, in my time watching the Vikings, there's never been a coordinator who's anywhere near this incompetent and terrible at their job. And among other things, Clint Kubiak's preposterous love of wide receiver screens, which never have proper blocking. Never. Like, it's always like you throw it to the receiver and that's like one on, it's like there's always more defenders than blockers. And we lost Adam Thielen because of one of them, I think on the first drive or maybe the second drive. Because Clint fucking Kubiak can't stop calling wide receiver screens. I mean, what is this, week 13? He just won't stop. No effort to throw the ball deep. No effort to throw the ball really at all. Against there's nothing fearsome about the Detroit Lions defense. They don't even have a fucking crowd at the game. They got like maybe a half full stadium, and probably a lot of that's Vikings fans. This isn't even like a road game really. It's like a fucking neutral site. And they weren't even trying. They should have probably been up at least 10-0, maybe even 14, maybe even 17. But terrible play calling, and no, Kirk ain't playing well either. I'll never, for as long as I live, understand what they did with the offensive line coming into this game. Darrisaw's out, and so you figure, okay, Rashad Hill's going to start. No, they blow up the offensive line. We got Bradbury in at center. Cole is shifted to right guard. O'Neal and Cleveland are staying put, and they put Oli Udoh at left tackle. This was reported last night that they were doing it. I saw it and I was like, make it make sense. And what a shock. A Detroit pass rush that had gotten like 2 sacks in 5 games. I mean, they're just destroying Kirk. And Kirk's not playing well either. But what a shock. This offensive line that you blew up for no reason, middle of the fucking season. Why is Oli Udoh at left tackle? There needs to be real answers, and literally everybody involved in that decision should and probably will be fired, because probably everybody's going to get fired now, because you're going to lose this one and you're going to drop to 5-7 and you're going to be the laughing stock of the NFL, because not only are you going to have given the Lions their first win, this thing's teetering on blowout because it's 20-6. We're giving them, they get the ball to start the second half. We can't stop them. The only thing that stopped them here at the end of the first half was the clock. And Kubiak has no game plan. The game plan was clearly just what they did in the other Detroit game and a couple of these other games this year. Make no effort to score points. None. It's not. It's an absolutely disgusting performance, and the one, and to top everything off, they've quit. That was like the one thing that, with all the, even I'd kind of come around to being like, well, yeah, Zimmer's probably gone, but even this still, I was like, well, at least they're still playing hard. No, they're not. They're not today. They've quit. There's just guys wide open everywhere. Bad tackling. There's just no effort on defense, and you can tell. And you can tell that, like, there are times when you can really tell this stuff, and you can tell. There's no effort being shown on the whole team. There was no effort being shown by the coaches clearly during the week. And then on the eve of the fucking thing, they decide, oh, we're gonna put Oliudo at left tackle and stick Bradbury back out there. Why Davis? Does he exist? Why Davis was supposed to be like a first round talent? He only slipped to the third because of some injury concerns. He's in there, like he's active. He's been. Why is he not getting a shot? I don't get it. And there's going to be a lot to answer for after this, and it probably doesn't matter because this is the game that's going to, it was damn near, it would have been almost 20 years ago. I don't know what the date was, but it's pretty close to the date. The Dennis Green era of Vikings football was, the end was sealed when they went to play at a winless Detroit team late in the season and got beat. And that's going to happen today. And that's going to be the end of Zimmer. I don't think they're going to fire him. I'll say this, if they had a normal week coming up, I don't think it's impossible that they would fire him. But this seals the deal that he's fired at the end of the season. This is it. Like, it's over. Because there's no excuse whatsoever for what I just saw in the first half, and probably a lot of what I'll see in the second half is a pathetic display by a whole organization top to bottom that clearly didn't take this game seriously or didn't care, and now have quit, and it's over. This is the end of the season, with weeks to play, but it's the end of the season.